This is what's great about sports. This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it. That's the great thing about sports. You play to win. And I don't care if you don't have any wins. You go play to win. When you start telling me it doesn't matter, then retire. Get out. Because it matters. What the hell's going on out here?
This is the Richard Smith Show. We talk about all things Kansas City Chiefs. How are we doing, Chiefs Kingdom? It is Monday, December 24th at 8:51 a.m. The Chiefs squared off against the Seattle Seahawks last night in Seattle, and we lost 31-38 in a game with a horrible pass interference call on a tipped ball. In a game where the refs let Reed challenge that very play, which is not a legal action. You cannot challenge a pass interference penalty. In a game where Kelvin Benjamin drops a touchdown pass. In a game where there was a horrible forward progress call. In a game where Tyreek Hill looked flat and has looked flat for weeks. In a game where Chris Jones set the NFL record with a sack in 11 straight games. That is a great feat. Chris Jones, congratulations. That seemed to be one of the only highlights of last night. Our offense looked okay. But congratulations, Chris. You're a hell of a player, and we will be signing you back for sure. That is probably guaranteed. So, moving on, I will have to say that the penalties, the fumbles, the horrible defense, the roughing the kicker on a missed field goal, all of these ridiculous plays. I mean, the defense just looks terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. There was also many horrible penalties that I don't know. I don't know what to say about this game. I really don't. I try not to get into all the details. I try to just stay to the stats and such. But this game was a lot different. And, Mahomes, he had a great game, and he did every single thing that he could. But Mahomes, he overthrew Kelsey, who was wide open for a touchdown. He was stretching plays as much as he could. We couldn't get open. And Tyreek looking flat. It just, I don't know. I will say Mahomes' no-look pass was way more impressive than Wilson's. Except for one thing. Wilson's was a touchdown. Look, this is our second loss in a row, something we're not used to this year, obviously, but we have a game to win next week. This was a wake-up call for Kansas City because this was in a playoff atmosphere, and we blew it. We blew it. We've lost every primetime game that we've played this year, which those primetime games are against good opponents. Don't get me wrong. Seattle's a great team, and Russell Wilson came out and played great. He had some amazing throws. It's just a scenario where the Kansas City Chiefs got outplayed. And flat out, we got outplayed. There's a lot of things to take away from this game. I look at our defense going into playoffs, and I worry about this scenario. We're down to, rookie corners We don't have any depth. It's kind of a scary scenario for the Kansas City Chiefs going into the playoffs. This loss didn't stop us from being in the 1 seed. We need to win it next week against Oakland. That is a key game. It's either number 1 or number 5 seed for the Kansas City Chiefs, and we need home field advantage throughout. And that'll be great because if we do, we'll have a bye week. We'll finish next week at Arrowhead, which I think will help us turn things around because we really need to. This is a dire scenario where I'm not scared of Pittsburgh. I'm not really scared of the Chargers. I think what I'm scared of right now is us beating ourselves, shooting ourselves in the foot. And when I really look at the bigger picture, the loss of Kareem Hunt was huge. Look at our team since then. It's really no secret that. That took the wind out of our team. Tyreek Hill is playing hurt. Obviously, you see him fighting through injuries every week. I don't know. Travis Kelce, I just don't know. Something seems off right now. Even Mahomes, he's overthrowing players. Has been for the last few weeks. He's missed a few open touchdown passes in the last few weeks, and it's just concerning. Thinking that we're hitting this slump at the worst time that we possibly could. This is when we need to be, going on a 6-game winning streak. So now what we have to do is dig ourselves out. We have to win this game. We need home field advantage, Kansas City. The Chiefs, we'd be better off. Can we get it done on the road? Yes. Do I think we're still going to do it? Yeah. But we really need to dig deep. We look worn out there. We really do. It's been a tough schedule for the Chiefs, and we got a long road ahead of us because we're heading into the playoffs here in a few weeks, and we need to have a solid game. We don't need to go on a 3-game skid going into the playoffs. We have a lot of high hopes for our team, so we just need to hang in there. One thing I do like is the losses that we have are by 7 points or less. They're close games. We're staying in there, and we're getting some help too. So that really helps our scenario in the playoffs. So we'll move on to stats here. Patrick Mahomes, 23 for 40, 273 yards and 3 touchdowns. Damian Williams broke a 100-yard mark. We'll see what's up with Damian Williams. We could really use him in the playoffs if he can just get that spark, get his timing down, because we're missing the run game, and it is completely obvious. Could anybody argue with that? It's definitely an issue, to say the least. It's an issue. So, Patrick Mahomes had 3 rushes for 33 yards, and Tyreek Hill had 2 for 17. Receiving, Tyreek Hill, 4 receptions for 74 yards. Travis Kelce, 5 receptions for 54. Chris Conley, 3 receptions for 54. Damian Williams, 7 for 37 and a touchdown. Charkandrick West, 2 for 37 and a touchdown. Demarcus Robinson, 2 for 17 and a touchdown. So, like I had said before, Chris Jones broke the NFL record with a sack in 11 straight games, and he had 1.5 sacks yesterday. Justin Houston had a sack, and Dee Ford had half a sack. We were really getting pressure on Russell Wilson. We have a great front four. I don't quite understand. There's something off with the Chiefs right now, and I cannot quite put my finger on it. Besides the loss of Kareem Hunt, I don't know what else to say about it. I don't know. I don't know, Kansas City. So we need to get it together. But I'm saying that because it's playoff time. yes, these are close games. Yes, we're getting bad penalties. Every single loss that we've had, there's been horrible, horrible calls. And I do keep that in mind. But, look, Kansas City, a penalty here and a penalty there, or a missed call here or a missed call there, we cannot control that. What we can control is stopping the other opponent from scoring and scoring points. So that's what we need to do. And we need to score a lot of points, and we need to play a lot better D. So let's step it up, Kansas City. We got a huge game, another division game against the Oakland Raiders next week, Arrowhead Stadium. We need to take this win. So, Kansas City, you have a great week. Let's break down the Seattle Seahawks, Kansas City Chiefs. Sunday night showdown, and unfortunately the Chiefs lost this game, but we need to come back next week in a strong victory against the Raiders. So have a great week, Kansas City. This is Richard Smith on the Richard Smith Show, where we talk about all things Kansas City Chiefs.